What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got another prediction for you guys tonight. This one's going to be Robert Helenius versus Sergei Liakhovich. I don't even think I said the dude's name right. So that was my English way of butchering the guy's last name. Sorry about that. So in this video, I'm going to call him Sergei. Alright, so honestly, I'm just going to tell you guys my outcome right now before I even break this fight down. I'm going with Robert Helenius in this bout. The reason I'm going with Robert Helenius is, one, because he's a taller fighter, and two, he does throw his jab quite well, and three, he does have power at the end of his punches. One fight that says it all for me is the bout between Sergei and Nikolai Valiev. That's the fight that said it all for me. Due to the fact that Valiev, of all people, is keeping you at the end of his jab. He got beaten by one of the worst heavyweight champions in recent memory. Among those guys that held that WBA regular championship, among all those people that held that belt, I thought Nikolai Valiev was probably the worst. Out of like him, Chigaev, and Ruiz, I just simply did not like Nikolai Valiev. And I was glad when I'm not gonna lie, I was glad when he lost that fight to David Haye. I didn't care what happened on those scorecards. I didn't care if they were corrupt or anything. I was glad he lost that fucking fight because I could not stand seeing Nikolai Valiev fight. But Sergei was outboxed by Nikolai Valiev. All Nikolai Valiev did was keep him at the end of his jab, and just the entire fight. And there are moments where Valiev is throwing jab combinations, and he's covering up, and there's nothing he can do. So apparently, I'm doing it again. Sergei does not know how to come underneath the jab. That's the reason I'm going with Helenius in this bout. Now, all Helenius has to do in this bout is, like I said, all he has to do is throw the jab. The jab is going to be the measuring stick for his power punches. It's going to be the foundation that sets up everything for him in this fight. The jab is going to be that main weapon. Why? Because it keeps Sergei at bay. It keeps him on the outside, and it sets him up for a decent either overhand right or right hook from the outside. And more than likely, he will not see it coming. See, Sergei has a tendency to be hit with the right hook. Whether it's inside range or outside range, he does tend to get hit with the right hook. He's a sucker for that counter right hand. A real sucker for the counter right. So, that's all I'm going to say for Helenius. Sergei, in this fight, he's going to have to find a way to come under the jab and work inside. Get his head on the chest. He's going to have to find a way to slip the jab, come underneath it with his own jab or something. He's going to have to take a few good punches just to get one or two good punches in, or find a way to work effectively inside. But more than likely, I think he's going to respect Helenius' power. More than likely, he will respect his power. So more than likely, he's not even going to take that risk. I don't think he didn't take the risk against Valiev. So I don't think he's going to take that risk against Robert Helenius. And I'm going to keep referring back to this Valiev fight due to the fact that, Valiev's tall, Helenius is tall. Valiev had a long jab, even though he didn't use it effectively. Helenius has a long jab. The Helenius jab, I think, is a bit stiffer than a Valiev jab. Also, Helenius likes to come forward. He knows how to come forward. He knows how to use the jab to come forward and dictate, his direction. So I'm going with Robert Helenius in this bout, and I think Robert Helenius is going to knock him out in 8 rounds. And if it goes past 8, it is what it is. But me, I'm going with Robert Helenius, knocking out Sergei Liakhovich. Like I said, the value of fight says it all. Really, this is the test. But also a test for Helenius. But every time Sergei steps it up, he loses. The only good heavyweight that he's defeated in my eyes was Layman Brewster when he won the WBO belt. But other than that, nothing. So anyway, I'm out of here. That was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.